Welcome to the World of Urban Shaolin. Today we'll be looking at the cast of Snake and the Eagle's Shadow, Then and Now. Don't forget to like, subscribe and add the bell notification. First up is Chiu Chi-ling. He played Mr. Lang in the film, and his worst enemy in the film was the bricks that he tried to break. His martial arts style is Hung Gar Fist, and he has toured that style around the world for many years. Currently he's starred in around 47 films. He went on to star in the hilarious Kung Fu Hustle, which was directed by Stephen Chow. He also starred in Sammo Hung's Enter the Fat Dragon and Jackie Chan's Winners and Sinners. He went on to have a very successful film career. He is aged 80 now, and his last film to date is Made in Chinatown, which was released in 2021. Next up is Dean Shek, who played Teacher Lee. He had a very successful career and starred in around 115 films. His film career spanned from 1968 all the way up to 2016. He also directed 5 films, wrote 2 films, and produced 16 films. He went on to star in classics such as Iron Fisted Monk, Warriors 2, Drunken Master, and John Woo's A Better Tomorrow Part 2. Sadly, he passed away in 2021 with his last film to date, The Bodyguard, which was released in 2016. Next up is Roy Horan, who played the priest, also known as the fighter from Russia. His film career spanned from 1972 up until 1991. He went on to star in 9 films with Kung Fu classics such as Snuff Bottle Connection, starring Wong Jang Lee, Tower of Death, also known as Game of Death Part 2, and No Retreat, No Surrender Part 2. He was born in Laurel, Maryland, which is in the United States. His daughter Selena Jade has also had a very successful film career, with currently 17 films under her belt. Sadly, he passed away in 2021 with his last film to date, Shanghai 1920, which was released in 1991. Next up is Fung Hakon. He played Snake Master Chow Chi-Chi. His film career spanned from 1955 up to 2017. He had a very extensive and busy film career and starred in around 207 films. He went on to star in many martial arts kung fu classics such as Warriors 2, Iron Fisted Monk, Executionist from Shaolin, and Ip Man 2. Sadly, he passed away in 2016 with his last film to date titled Soccer Killer, which was released in 2017. Next up is Peter Chun Lung. He played Teacher Lian. His film career spanned from 1969 up until 2004. He went on to star in about 138 films. In certain films he's hard to recognize, as in each film he has a different look. He went on to star in many martial arts kung fu classics such as The Prodigal Son, Millionaire's Express, Encounters of the Spooky Kind, and The Victim starring Beardy. Sadly, he passed away in 2021 with his last film to date titled Dragon Since 1973, which was released in 2004. Next up is Chan Lap Bap, also known as Lap Bat Chan. She played the madam in the brothel. Her film career began in 1949 all the way up to 1990. She starred in around 455 films. In a lot of the films she starred in, there were very small roles. She appeared in the film Ghost Eyes, but she's probably best remembered for playing her part in Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. Sadly, she passed away in 1990 with her last film to date titled Lookout Officer, which was released in 1990. In that film, she played a cleaning lady. Next up is Charlie Chan Yu Lam. He played Master Hung in the film. His acting career spanned from 1973 to 2001 and starred in around 32 films. He starred in Secret Rivals, starring Wong Jang Lee. He starred in Death Duel Kung Fu. He starred in James Bond's The Man with the Golden Gun. He played the bad guy in Snake and the Monkey's Shadow. His last film to date is Lethal Justice, which was released in 2001. Unfortunately, I couldn't get any information on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital render of how he may look like now. Next up is Fung Jing Man. He played Teacher Chewy, which was a school that rivaled the Hong Tai School. He was born in Shanghai in 1912. His film career spanned from 1937 to 1990, and he starred in around 516 films. He starred in many classic films, including Jackie Chan's Drunken Master, Dreadnought, which also starred Yam Bao, Magnificent Warriors, which starred Michelle Yeoh, Sadly, he passed away in 1997 with his last film to date titled Her Fatal Ways, which was released in 1990. Next up is Chang Kang, who played the magistrate's son in the film. The fight with him and Jackie Chan's character was hilarious. He brought a lot of comedy elements to the film. His acting career started from 1973 to 1989 and he starred in 57 films. He went on to star in classic martial arts films such as Magnificent Butcher, A Chinese Ghost Story, Jackie Chan's Young Master, and A Kid from Kwantung. I couldn't find any information on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how he may look now. Next up is Chien Su-wing. She played the role of the old woman and was insulted by the priest. Her rage went from 0 to 100 and attacked the priest with a broom. Her film career began in 1925 all the way up to 2002 and she starred in around 293 films. She starred in films such as The Price of Love, Royal Tramp, Casino Tycoon and Ghost Lover. Most of the films she starred in were drama type films. Sadly, she passed away in 2007 with her last film to date titled The Wife is 18, which was released in 2002. Next up is Su Xia. He played the villain Su Shen. Not only was he a great actor, but he also directed 10 films and he wrote 2 films and he was a martial arts director in 25 films. His film career began in 1965 and spanned all the way up until 1994. He starred in around 181 films. He starred in classics such as Drunken Master, Heroes 2, Crystal Hunt. Unfortunately, I can't find any information on his whereabouts in 2024. So I've done a digital mock-up of how he may look now. Next up is Wong Chi Ming. He plays the hotel boss. He's trying to get rent money off Pai Chang Ching. He's the one who gets the chopsticks rammed up his nose. His film career ran from 1968 to 2002 and he starred in around 177 films. His most famous role is probably in Drunken Master, where he's the waiter with the big teeth and tells Jackie Chan's character he needs to go and clean all the toilets. I couldn't find any information on him for 2024. The image shown is from his last film he made, titled No Problem Part 2. Next up is Tino Wong. He plays the cocky free provincial champion in the film. He was born in Hong Kong and started acting at an early age. His film career ran from 1971 to 1989 and he starred in 77 films. Most of the films he starred in, he played a bad guy. He starred in classic films such as The Invincible Armor, Hitman in the Hand of the Buddha, Drunken Master, and Miracle Fighters. The last film he starred in was titled Path of Glory. I couldn't find any information of him for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look now. Next up is Gam Yam. He played Ah Wu, also known as Chang. He was the cook for the Hong Tai school. He was also a spy for Master Shang Kuan Yin. His film career ran from 1964 to 1983 and he starred in 27 films. He starred in films such as Facets of Love, where he played an officer, Shaolin Wooden Men, The Monk, and The Proud Youth. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how he may look now. Next up is Yuan Si-tin. He plays Pai Chang Teen, also known as the Beggar. He was born in Beijing, China in 1912. He had a very extensive film career, starting from 1947 all the way up until 1981. He starred in around 349 films. He starred in Jackie Chan's classic Drunken Master, playing Sam Seed, also known as Beggar So. He starred in Dance of the Drunk Mantis, where he has the notorious fight with Wong Jan Lee's character Rubber Legs in the restaurant. He also starred alongside Long Gai Yan, also known as Beardy, in the classic Sleeping Fist. His role was Old Fox. Unfortunately, he passed away on 8th of January 1979, aged 66. Next up is Wong Jan Lee. He played the notorious villain Master Shang Kuan Yin. He was born in Japan in 1944. His film career ran from 1974 to 1989 and he starred in 67 films, often playing the bad guy. He starred in No Retreat, No Surrender Part 2. He plays the character Tai and fights in for your Rothwell's character, Terry. His best known role is probably in Drunken Master, where he plays Thunderfoot and takes on Jackie Chan's character, Wong Fei Hong. If you want to learn how to kick, then you should definitely check out Wong Jang Lee's The Art of High Impact Kicking. In this video, he demonstrates Taekwondo kicking techniques. He starred in Hitman and Handed with Buddha, playing Wong Chin. This is probably one of the only films where he plays the good guy in the film. His last acting appearance was Return of Iljami, which is a TV series and was released in 2009. He's retired now and is age 79. Next up is the star of the film, Jackie Chan. He was born in British Hong Kong on April the 7th, 1954. He plays Chin Fu, the orphan, at the Hong Tai School. His film career ran from 1962 up to the current 2024, and he starred in over 150 films. He starred in classics such as Wheels on Mills, which also starred Sammo Hung, Yuen Bao, and Benedict Uwakes. The last fight in this film was insane. In 1980, he teamed up with Raymond Chow to make The Young Master. The film also starred Yuen Bao. He had the notorious end fight scene with Wong In-shik. Dragons Forever was a great film, and the end fight scene in the drug factory was beyond perfection. Jackie Chan's Drunken Master is probably his finest traditional film. The training scenes and the end fight scene is just out of this world. He also starred in many modern films such as Police Story, where he plays Kevin Chan, and teams up with Maggie Cheung's character, May. In 1983 he starred and directed Project A. The film also starred Sammo Hung and Yuen Bao. Jackie Chan is now 69 and he's still very active. He has many new projects on the line such as The Karate Kid 6, Rush Hour 4, New Police Story 2 and Project P, which is another part to the Project A films. Next up is Max Lee Chu Chan. He played the role of Chin San. He's the one that beat Jackie Chan's character up. His film career spanned from 1969 to 1991 and he starred in a total of 55 films. The last film he starred in was Monkey vs. Bull, which was released in 1989. He starred in Bruce Lee's Fist of Fury, playing Suzuki's student. He was the one that Bruce Lee made eat some tasty paper. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information on him for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look like now. Next up is Law Kung. He plays the hotel staff member and he manages to have a taste of Pai Chang-ting's feet, which leads to him losing many of his teeth. His film career spanned from 1969 to 2011 and starred in 150 films. He starred in Knockabout, playing a street thug. The film also starred Yuen Bao, Sammo Hung and Na Ga-yan. The last film he starred in was titled Life Without Principle, which was released in 2011. I couldn't find any information on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look like now. Next up is Feng Yu. She plays the mean lady and closes the door in Pai Chang-ting's face and has the famous line, "I have no time for beggars." Her film career ran from 1972 up until 1997 and she starred in 183 films. She starred in The Tigress of Shaolin, playing a street vendor. The last film she starred in was titled Troublesome Night 2, which was released in 1997. The last clear picture I could find of her was a film she done in 1996 titled All of a Sudden, where she plays Sister San. Next up is Lam Yuan. He plays Governor Zhou, also known as the Magistrate. He was born in 1913 and he was 65 years old when he appeared in Snake in the Eagle's Shadow. He had a very busy film career, spanning 1950 all the way up until 1984. He starred in around 265 films. He appeared in The New One-Up Swordsman. He was an extra in Flying Guillotine Part 2, and he also had a very brief appearance in Project A. The last picture I could find of him was in 1983 for a film he done titled All the Wrong Spies. He was aged 71. Next up we have Chik Nai Hung. He plays a hotel staff member and ends up getting bitten by Pai Chang-ting's snake. He played an extra in a lot of the films he made. His film career started from 1969 up until 1985 and he starred in 135 films. He starred in classics such as Hapkido, where he played a student, and The Game of Death, where he played a fighter. He also starred in Mad Monkey Kung Fu and Kid from Kwantung. Tai Chi Chan was his last film. I couldn't find anything on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look like now. Next up is Yuan Yak Chu. He plays a student at Master Chu's school. He had a non-speaking role in the film, but is involved in one fight scene. His film career ran from 1969 up until 1989, and he starred in 56 films. He starred in Donnie Yun's In the Line of Duty Part 4, Long Ga Yan's Legend of a Fighter, The Buddhist Fist, and Drunken Tai Chi. In the Line of Duty Part 4 was his last film. It was released in 1989. I couldn't find any information of him for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look like now. Next up is Winlan Chu Fai. He's another student of Teacher Chu. He doesn't have any speaking role, but he does fight Jackie Chan's character with a stick. His film career ran from 1969 up until 2016, and he starred in 136 films. He appeared in a lot of films as an extra. He appeared in The Vampire Partner, Jackie Chan's Project A, and Long Ga Yan's Canton Iron Kung Fu. He went on to direct 10 films and produce 23 films. I couldn't find anything on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how it may look like now. Next up is Choi Fei. He's one of Teacher Chiu's students, and he has the famous line, he's from the Hong Tai School. Teacher Chui responds, "Hong Tai School, beat him up." His film career spanned from 1977 to 1981, and he starred in 16 films. He also was an assistant director in 2 films. He starred in The Eagles Killer, Mr. Big, and The Furious Killer. He appeared as an extra in Drunken Master. The last film he starred in was titled Execution, which was released in 1981. I couldn't find any information on his whereabouts for 2024, so I've done a digital mock-up of how he may look now. A big shout out to the generous lady that gave Pai Chan Cheng some money. I couldn't find any information on her whatsoever, so who knows how many roles or films she starred in. We have the Cobra Snake that inspired Jackie Chan's character to come up with a new style. Let's hope that the snake wasn't injured during filming. And we have the winner of the fight, Chin Fu's cat, with the sharp claws. Due to complaints, this fight scene has been edited in some countries. Well, this brings an end to my video. I really hope you enjoyed the content. If you want to check out some cool skipping tutorials, then please check out my other videos on my channel. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time for watching my videos. If you like any of the t-shirts I'm wearing in this video, then please check the link in the description. The link will take you straight to the Urban Shaolin web store. Well, bye for now, and I hope to see you on the next video.